that needed moving just as fast as it can go.
What's going on, everybody? Back at it again, and it is, let's see, Thursday, September 7th. So we are 5 days into the Kentucky archery season here for deer, and I haven't hunted. I mean, it's been in the upper 90s, extreme humidity, and I'm not going to get out and blow up my spot, especially considering I don't have like a massive target buck to want to get out there and bear those elements. But not only that, I don't want to go out and tear my spots up this early if I don't have something to chase. So I am on some public land, and this is one of the many managed food plots that's on this property. And when I say this property, it's a really big property. But opening weekend for this public land spot is this Saturday. So I am out here today, this afternoon, doing some scouting. It's only like 75 degrees, so way cooler than it has been. Humidity is significantly lower than it has been. But I just found some places on the topo map on Onyx and just started driving. It took me an hour to get out to this spot, but this is one of the first spots I want to check out. And so what this is I've got an L-shaped food plot here, another food plot about 200 yards that way. There's a pond that sits right in the middle of it. So I went the other way when I came in, got to that pond through the woods. There's a really heavy beat down trail, perfect tree overlooking the pond. I can see a little bit of that other food plot, and it's coming right, that trail's coming right to this edge of this food plot. So got some good sign already. Turn this around. One, I've found, like I said, that trail heavily used, big prints in it. Should have filmed that, but I didn't. Just trying to fight the spider webs over here. But made my way over to this side. Really nice and lush clover out in the middle. You can see where they've just eaten it down on the edges. But we're way back here, people. So there's some fresh poop there. So there's definitely deer in here. When I came in that back corner, back there, bunch of historical rubs, about 5 or 6 cedar trees that were just torn up. So I'm just walking around looking for a good spot to throw up some cameras and start a mock scrape. I was trying to see if there was any like community scrapes anywhere, but I haven't found one yet. So anyway, getting after it. But this weekend, I will 100% be in the woods chasing these deer. All right, what's up, everybody? It is Saturday, September 9th, and it's right at 6 o'clock. Running a little late. This drive is always longer than I anticipate. Anyway, I got all the way back here. I mean, it's a long haul just driving through gravel roads to get back to this spot. Haven't really seen any hunters. Figures I get to this spot, and I'm not the only one with the same idea. There was another young man here. He's hiking in. He's going to hunt to the left. I'm going to go to the right. But that's public land hunting. So talk to each other, you know, figure out where everybody's going, and then go hunt. And then we exchange numbers. If he needs help dragging, if I need help dragging, we'll give each other a call, go from there. So anyway, I'm getting ready to hike back here. It's about, I don't know, a couple 100-yard hike. We'll get in here, get set up, and hopefully we'll have some luck. That was a damn fiasco. God. I'm up here. I'll talk to y'all soon. What's going on, everybody? We are back at it again. It is our second sit of the 2023 season. It's Saturday, September 16th. Let's see, this morning when I walked in, it was about 53 degrees, 61 degrees right now. It's 9:30. I have an east-northeast wind. So I actually came in here yesterday afternoon and bush hogged a trail up this big hill to an area that they're clearing out up top of this hill, probably about 200 yards. But came in here with the bush hog, cleaned all that out, because I usually come in from that direction. We walk down this wood line and set up right here. Set up on here. There's a fence right across from me. It's a nice little pinch point. These deer will funnel through between 15 and 20 to 25 yards right here at this pinch over to this big bedding bowl to my left. So all played out really well this morning. I walked in, didn't bump anything. I did have a couple deer out in this field about 100 yards away because I accidentally shined my light over there whenever I was trying to get set up. But came in here, came down that mowed path that I put in last night or yesterday, got my little pop-up blind, and I'm set up right on this little pinch point. But nothing has come walking by. As you might be able to hear, there's one person that lives at the top of this hill, about 200 yards, and they just started mowing. And it sounds like they're mowing right behind me. I guess it's just the way that the sound's traveling down to this bottom. But huge bedding area over here. It's where I found that really big 5-point side 2 years ago, I think. And on a deer that I was chasing. Never saw that deer again. But obviously it made it that year, but didn't show back up last year, at least on this farm. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'll give it about another 30 minutes, see if anything walks by. No luck today. Hunted out on some public land last Saturday, but that's really all that time I've had to hunt right now. I mean, just with work, and we've got some family stuff going on, my grandmother being in the hospital, just haven't had much time to get out and hunt. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap up here. I haven't decided if I'm gonna come out tonight or not. It's supposed to get pretty warm this afternoon, but I'll definitely be back out tomorrow morning. I'm just not hunting over my food sources right now, guys, because like this early season, if you try to get into any type of feeder situation, you're gonna come in and bump those deer out. They're at the feeder at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm trying to kind of do some different ways to get down in here without disturbing the deer and then catching them as they're transitioning back into bedding. Today it didn't work. We'll see you about tomorrow. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? Back at it again. As you can see, I'm out here at the farm and wanted to get a couple things done. But before that, I mean, look, I haven't been hunting much. There's a bunch of reasons why. Got some personal stuff with some family members that are ill that we've been trying to help out, and work, and then the heat. So it's been getting up in the 80s, mid 80s all week. So it's just hot, and I don't really like hunting in the mornings in early season because in my experience, I try to get to where I want to hunt and I'm bumping deer. And then in this time of year, they were getting ready to go bed down anyway because it's hot. So it's not like you're gonna bump them and then an hour later after daybreak they just come walking back. No, you're gonna bump them and they ain't coming back, like you would maybe expect in the rut or later in the season here. So I haven't really gotten out here. Second reason is I have no reason to come out here and hunt this farm right now. I have no intel that I've got a buck that I want to put on my hit list. I mean, the best buck I have is that nice 8-point. And I'm not saying I wouldn't harvest that deer. That would be in my opinion, I think it would probably be my best deer to date with a bow. So, but at the same time, sure enough, I'll come out here and hunt early season. He walks under my stand. I go ahead and fill that tag. And then the big bucks on this farm that generally start moving in about this time, going into October, sure enough, I'll get a big buck like I always do on this farm, and I'm not going to have a tag to chase them down with. So I've elected to stay out, not giving the farm any pressure. I'm here today. We're going to keep those feeders full. I'm going to cut down or trim this branch off this oak tree. It hangs over in my kind of driveway, how I get and enter these fields anyway. And so we're always having to drive around it and kind of come off of the grass road. So I'm going to trim that up, clean it up anyway. It needs to be cleaned up. And then I'm going to use that branch to put a mock scrape over here into my actual hunting area. So we're going to get that started today. So I've got my Tinks mock scrape starter. So get that installed, fill these feeders up, pull cards, and maybe we'll start having, this is about that time. So I'm expecting any day now that I'll start getting new bucks that are going to start showing up on this farm. What I've been focusing on right now for this spot is that when that happens, and I talk to a lot of people don't have early season bucks. That's not where the bucks are at during the early season. You're going to have to start getting out there when they start moving into their fall ranges, and then all of a sudden, boom, that nice spot. If you got doe, you're going to have bucks. So you got to hang tight. But if you're out here busting your doe out every day and the doe leave, you're probably not going to have bucks. So that's kind of my mindset this year for this spot, is not give it too much pressure. The only time I'm really coming in and out here is to check cards, fill feeders, but that's what I want to do. I want to keep them staying here. I want to keep them comfortable here. And that way, once those big bucks start moving in their fall range, this is going to be their spot for a while. And I'm going to be able to hold them because I got enough things in the area to make them want to stay here, such as the horizontal rub, this mock scrape I'm getting ready to put in, the feeders, the food plot. Like when they get here, they'll want to hang around a while until all these does get bred. So that's the goal. I'm gonna get that done today. And like I said, I'm gonna pull this card. And if we start, acquiring these bucks, as soon as that happens, and I see something I want to chase, then I'm gonna bring y'all along for the full Monty. We're gonna go after it full stream, but don't want to overpressure the farm right now. And the public land spots that I've hunted so far, again, I'm walking in the morning because that's the only time it's been cool, and I'm bumping all the deer out, and I don't see anything for 4 or 5 hours. So it's just I've elected to kind of push pause, continue to build my area up, keep everybody comfortable, everything comfortable, and then come in here and have some success. So I hope you guys continue to hang in there with me, because I promise you the action's about to pick up, because I think that's where I've messed up the past 2 years, especially in conjunction with all the other stuff that's happened around the neighborhood here. With the hunters that are always next door, being down in them hollers, they really changed things up. And then I'm hunting hard to try to get in front of them, and then all we're doing is just pushing our deer around and making them go nocturnal and not be out here. So really pulled back this year. I'm kind of waiting. Don't kid yourself. I'm chomping at the bit. Like, I want to go hunt, but I also want to be smart about it this year and hopefully let this be the sanctuary. And then I sneak in and boom, fill my tag. So hopefully you keep hanging in there. I appreciate you hanging in there this far, and I promise it's going to heat up. I think I'm onto something here. Okay, so as you can see, I got my branch. Pretty sure that's an oak branch. Either way, it's the type of branch I'm looking for. Primarily because, let me show you here, but this is the long part of the branch. And then here, where I cut it off, you can see I got that nice V. So what I'm gonna do is trim all the excess, branches and twigs and leaves off of this. So I have one nice long branch with that hook on the end. I'm gonna take that hook and I'm gonna hook it up here. This used to be a rub branch for me, but as this tree has continued to get bigger, it's going up. And so this started, when I first started hunting here, it was right down here, perfect level. Now, 15 years later, that branch is 12 foot above my head, or 12 foot high. Them deer are not gonna try to get up and rub on a 12 foot high branch, right? So kind of defeated the purpose of this being my mock scrape area, even though this is where I want it. So what I do is go get another branch. I'm gonna hook it to this branch with that. Once I create that hook, I'll show you in a second. And then I'm gonna zip tie this branch hanging vertically versus horizontally. And that's gonna come down. Then I'll take my Tinks mock scrape starter and drip that all the way down this branch. So that drip is hitting the branch and going down into the scrape itself. So either way, like I said, just trying to get all these things done so that I'm giving these deer everything that they would want or expect for them to hold here as long as possible once they show up.
I need a train that can haul heavy load. I need it moving just as fast as it can go. Get me out of this place. I can't go another day wearing around a face that I don't know. I've been trying to pretend I may find love again, but I know that's not the way my story ends.
What's up, everybody? Back at it again. It is Saturday, September 23rd, I believe. It's about 10:30 right now. I've been in this blind since 6 a.m. Perfect setup. I've set this spot one other time, but I came in with that really small pop-up blind and hiked it down here that same morning. And it was just too compact in here to try filming everything. So brought the bigger blind in the other day, got it all, brushed in. Really good setup. Got this big willow tree I'm tucked underneath of over here to my right, kind of open to my left, so I really brushed in the blind well. So this morning right at 8, so it's 55 degrees when I got in this morning, and then as I dropped over the hill and came into this bottom, it got chilly. But the fog kind of rolled through, and then right at 8 o'clock, I looked right out of here on the other side of this willow branch, and I had this big doe standing here. And then I looked over to kind of left of that, and there was at least 4 other deer coming out of that wood line, making their way this way. The weird part is they didn't come through this fence gap. It seemed like they were going to go transition down this side of this wood line. That's, I don't know, about 35, 40 yards on the other side to my right. But that big doe got there and stopped, and she was looking this way, but my wind is blowing, which is hardly any wind at all, but my wind direction is blowing back towards the way I came, towards this hill. So there's no way that she smelled me. I can't believe that she could see me through that willow, this big, huge willow branch, which you can see right here what my setup looks like. But she was just staring this way, and then nonchalant turned around, walked back to those other deer, and they walked back in the woods from across from me from where they came. So I'm like, man, are my thermals somehow dragging up that way? But I don't think that's right. So I'm sitting here kind of pondering. I text my wife like, man, just had all these deer come through, didn't do what I thought they would do. And then I heard, row. I'm pretty sure that's not a good interpretation of that bobcat that literally sounded off. Had to be 10, 15 yards right outside this window of this blind. I'm assuming that's probably what that deer saw. I saw this bobcat sitting up on this hill and just gathered everybody up, went back in that wood line across the way and said, no, I'm not going to mess with that today. So pretty sure this bobcat over here messed up my hunt. But I was prepared to. I mean, heck, it's just a 22 yard to that fence post. The deer come in 5-10 yards this way, so you're talking about a chip shot. Anything that walks through here. Great little setup. I feel like I'm really brushed in really well, and I don't believe those deer spooked on me. Like, I'm almost positive after that bobcat sounded off that that's what they saw, and they just kind of went back the other way. Again, they never blew, never acted like they saw, knew I was here. They just kind of turned around, went back. So didn't mess anything up. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. I mean, I know I haven't been doing much yet this season with the heat, work, some personal things going on with my family. Just haven't been able to find the time to get out here and actually hunt. But I have been coming out and continuously prepping this spot. So again, the 23rd of September, we're almost to October, guys, and that's when this farm starts heating up. Around that first week of October, we start getting and pulling in a ton of these bucks that you just don't see early season. So really excited about that. I've already got one buck on camera. I got 2 kind of fuzzy pictures of this deer, but it's a giant. Like, it's a big deer. I'm going to give you a little sneak preview right here, and that's all you get. That's all I was going to do. I wasn't going to talk about it until I either confirmed what deer that was, got it on video, or at least got a really good, trail cam video from it. But I've just got 2 pictures of what I think is a really good target buck for the 2023 season already on the farm. So again, I'm hunting the outer perimeters of the farm right now in the mornings. I'm not wanting to push in here early. These deer are out in these fields. They're at food sources. So they're in the food plot. They're at the feeders. Last thing you want to do at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, go bumping, the deer off of their food, and then you don't see them. So I'm hunting these transitional areas. So I've got those woods over there that's coming. I don't know, the food plot from here is probably about almost a mile, 800 yards, something like that. But they'll come from the food plot area through these woods across from me. They hit this kind of open gap and then work their way back to this huge bedding bowl that's back over here to my left. And so I'm just trying to catch them in transition, going back to bed. And that way, they're over there eating 600-800 yards away. They're not typically here until 8, 9, 10 in the morning. So not intruding on my property, not, pressuring the deer, hunting the outer perimeters, and then hopefully catching something skirting back its way or skirting itself back to a bed for the day. So no luck so far this morning. I think I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'll be back out this evening. I'm going to hunt all weekend, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and close this one down. Hopefully it's been kind of informative anyway about some of the things, hanging those mock scrapes, you know, keeping the feeders full. Just for me, since I don't have deer holding here in the early season, when they get here, I want to give them the entire playground. I want to give them the horizontal rub. I want to give them, you know, plenty of scrapes and trees that are active and they're open. I want to give them plenty of food sources. So when they make their way over here looking for that first, you know, pre-estrus doe, and then they're looking to get on that before that lockdown happens, I want them to stay here. Pretty sure a squirrel just jumped on the branch above me, but I want them to stay here. So that's what I've been doing this season. Instead of just dive bombing in, wearing myself out. You know, by the time November rolls around, I've already hunted 30, 50 times and I'm exhausted. Just kind of really been taking a back seat to the hunting aspect this year, or this early season. Didn't have anything to chase. No reason to come in here and pressure my deer until I have confirmation that there's something worth pressuring the deer over. So, been keeping the farm prepped, pristine, and ready to hold those, you know, bucks when they start moving their fall range. So today's the first day of fall. It felt like fall, especially when I got down to this bottom this morning. A little chilly as the sun was coming up, but another great day to be out in the woods. And now we're getting ready to start amping up the action here. We've already had a ton of success with Keenan and his daughter getting her first buck. Amazing buck. Can't wait to bring that to y'all. Here's a picture of the family, but can't wait to bring the video of that hunt. That'll be coming here real soon. But bucks are hitting the ground at Deer 30 Outdoors, and it's getting exciting. I hope you continue to tune in. Get down there and hit that subscribe button so you're notified when we're dropping these new episodes. And guys, until next time, wake up and hunt.